The Flash, #1, written by Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato, art by Francis Manapul. Right off the bat, I'm just going to say the art in this is fantastic. It's really good. So just know that with every page, I'm like, oh, wow, that's really nice. So what is the Flash up to? Considering that Flashpoint was all his thing, does he remember any of it? Is any of that important? No, it isn't. We open up completely blank. The Flash, he's at some scientific symposium. They got all this tech stuff going on, and he's brought along a date. Not the well-known Iris West that everyone's familiar with, but Patty Spivot, I believe is her name. He's apparently been crushing on her for like 2 years and finally got the nerve to ask her out. So they take a look at this monorail and how it's going to, help that. And they're like, well, why don't they just fix the highways? And this dude steps up. Name is Dr. Darwin Elias. And he's like, oh, well, actually, the highways just make things worse because something about congestion in South Korea. I don't know. And then immediately the party is broken in on. All these men with guns in outfits. They're referring to each other with numbers instead of call signs or anything like that. So they're pretty much just soldiers. Flash runs off, gets his flash ring out, turns into The Flash, big double-page spread for the title, which looks just great. We even get a little thing here saying, struck by a bolt of lightning, doused by chemicals, blah, 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 now he's the Flash. So they're looking for something. They got it, whatever it is. Now they're trying to make their escape. A couple of the guys go to slow Flash down, but of course, can't slow the Flash down. So they're making their run towards a helicopter to escape. Flash is chasing after him. He leaps, he grabs the guy who has the thing, and he manages to get it back as the helicopter flies off. But Barry is now falling, plummeting to the ground, along with the one dude who he had grabbed, number 33? No, 47? It doesn't matter. But he's plummeting to the ground. He starts vibrating at a frequency so that he can, hit the ground safely. I don't know what his goal there was, but he uses his turbine arms to push the one dude inside of a building, which is through plate glass, which isn't really great, but hey, it's better than hitting the ground. But he vibrates through the ground, lands in the sewers underneath, and then the ground just blows up where he landed. He's like, okay, we're not going to use that frequency anymore. Who should find him but Iris West? So she is around, saying hey, Flash, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. He gets what is the portable genome recoder back to Dr. Elias, and then he runs off, changes back into Barry. Patty's like, I've been calling you. What happened? He's like, oh, I must have dropped my cell phone and all the excitement. But now it's a crime scene, and since they both work in the crime labs, they are like, all right, well, now we're at work, so let's deal. So they go and check out that dude who Flash put through the plate glass window, and they unmask him. And it's a dude that Barry's familiar with. His name is Manuel, and I guess they always got into trouble when they were in college. He keeps on telling Barry to, find a girl or something like that, find someone to settle down with. But they're running. So clearly there's something there. But basically they're saying, hey, did Flash kill this guy? Because he was alive, then he went through a plate glass window, and now he's dead. So Flash kind of killed this guy. And Iris West is a reporter. She's like, hey, can I get the scoop on this? And there's no scoop. We're still investigating. Get out of here, Iris. But Iris is like, okay, I'll call you later, Barry, because I'm going to get that scoop. And Patty's like, wow, she's forward. Cut to the police department. Everyone in the office is just yelling over, oh, did Flash do it? Barry, I need that report by tomorrow. I think it's I can't tell if it's the commissioner, the captain, I don't know, one of the police officers. He goes up to the roof and he's like, not Barry. I don't think he knows the secret identity, but he's like, Flash, this isn't your fault. We're going to find out what it is. Don't beat yourself up over it. This seems kind of personal to you, though. He's like, they always are. He's back at his apartment. He's trying to figure out what Manuel was doing with those guys in the suits. Iris is saying how she's going to come over and pick up the story herself. And then somebody breaks in, and it's Manuel. And he's like, Manuel, you're dead. How are you here? He's like, okay, but we got to run now, so let's go. So they're running through New York Central Park, or sorry, Central City Central Park. And there's just some guys chasing them down, trying to figure out, like, Barry thinks that Manuel slept with their wives because he was always such a womanizer, but as soon as they realize that something is actually, wrong, Barry jumps into the river, turns into Flash, gets back out, and then gets ahead of Manuel so they can help. But who's there but like 80 Manuels? So all those people with numbers were just different versions of Manuel. And that's where we end, where it's a whole crowd of Manuels taking the one Manuel hostage. It's good. I mean, it's fine. Like, story-wise, I don't have any particular attachment to Manuel. They do a good job of trying to make it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, but it's just a dude that Barry said he hasn't talked to since college. Like, he doesn't strike me as super important. But maybe they could change that over time. He can clone, or he was cloned, or something, and they want a genome recoder. I'm sure we'll get explanations as we move forward. This particular one, story-wise, it's okay. It's not the best. What really sells it is the art. Like, it just looks fantastic. Panel layouts are great. Manipul's always going to kill it. So, evening it out, I'm going to give this one a 7.5. Very good. I'm looking forward to where it goes. But, hopefully they make me care a bit more about Manuel before we get too deep into it. So, yeah, Flash.